Slopes of perpendicular lines. Anytime we have two slopes that are perpendicular to each other, when we multiply them together, their product has to equal -1. An example of that would be if I have a slope of 1/2. That's my slope 1. To find what my slope of my second line would be, it's always going to be the opposite reciprocal. That's the opposite reciprocal of 1/2. And so if I multiplied those two together, you would see my 2's would cancel out. I'm just left with -1. And so a slope of 1/2 and a slope of -2 are going to give you perpendicular lines. So remember, opposite reciprocals. Are these two lines perpendicular? They look perpendicular, but let's calculate the slopes just to be sure. So the slope of L1, here's my first point on L1. There's my second point. Slope triangle. I'm going down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to the right 1, 2, 3, 4. Simplify my fraction and divide both of them by 2, so I get -3/2. Now let's calculate the slope of L2. Start at the left point, move to the right point. I rise 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So rise over run is 6 over 9, which simplifies to 2/3. So now we'll take the product of those two. -3/2 times 2/3 equals, do a lot of cross canceling, and you'll see that it equals -1. So therefore these two lines are perpendicular. So now we're going to write the equation of a line perpendicular to this line here. So my slope of my original line is 1/5. The opposite reciprocal of 1/5 is going to be -5. Technically -5 over 1, but we could just think about it as -5. The slope of our perpendicular line will be -5 because that's the opposite reciprocal of our original slope. I'm going to go to point slope form. My y value is -4, so that'll be y plus 4. My slope is -5. My x value is 15. So that could be my final answer, but if the question happens to ask you to change it into slope-intercept form, we're going to move the 4 over. Y equals -5, x minus 15 minus 4. Distribute, and then combine like terms. So there's our final answer as slope-intercept form. So I hope that was a refresher. That's really stuff you've already seen, and this will all be very important as you go on to Algebra 2 next year.